We are going to start looking at the Jeroo provided methods, things that Jeroo has already written for us. It's in the background, and they're methods that we can use to make our Jeroo perform different actions. And we want to start learning how to write our code in the source file or in the source code pane. So the first thing we're going to do is type method main with parentheses. Then we're going to add some brackets. Oops, I accidentally added something I wasn't supposed to and put some space in there. And what that is, that's our container that we're going to write our code for our Jeroo. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use our default constructor. We talked about this earlier, and the default constructor is a constructor that starts our Jeroo at the 0, 0 place. So we're going to say Jeroo. If you're following along with me on the website, it's Jeroo Sue. We're going to use Sue this time. Sue equals new Jeroo, and we're starting her in the default location. So what I'm going to do is, because if she starts in the default location, which is 0, 0, our island right now is, if she was to hop on that island, she's not going to go anywhere, and we're going to get an instantiation error. So we're going to clear this island completely off. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and do a save as, and we're going to change this to Jeroo island files. Right now we have world1.jev. We're going to name this temp, T-E-M-P, temp, and click save. So now we have a temporary file that we're using as our island. All right, so now we've got Jeroo Sue equals new Jeroo, and we're going to make Sue hop. Now we used hop before with Bob, and the default hop has him moving one spot. Okay, so we're going to say Sue dot hop, and we put our parentheses and our semicolon. These are things that always need to be there. Okay, you have to have a semicolon at the end of each statement. If we don't have a semicolon, we're going to run this, and notice the first time we run the code, because we didn't give it a name or open a file that we already had, it's going to make us name our file. So we're going to name this temp, change this right here to Jeroo source file, and click on save. So now we have a temp file that we are going to be placing this code in on a temporary island. So it says saving source code, compiling, syntax error, missing semicolon, check previous line. So right here it said check the previous line. This is where it was highlighted, and this is the previous line, so we know we need a semicolon. So now if I was to run this, I click on, I'm doing step by step, Jeroo Sue equals new Jeroo, and it places Sue. Then it says Sue.hop. I click hop, and she hops one time. So the default for hop is just the parentheses with nothing in it, and she will hop one time. Okay? Now, we can, of course, be able to make her hop more than one time. So we are going to stop this, rewind it, and come in here in between the parentheses and add 5. And we're going to run this again, and she's going to hop 5 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She ends in the 5th spot. Okay? So we told her to hop 5 times, and she stops in the 5th spot. I'm going to rewind this. All right, so something else that we know from previous program that we ran is that Bob turned, and he turned right. This time, okay, we're going to do Sue. So we're going to say Sue dot turn, and we're going to tell her to turn right. And the thing that you need to remember about turning is that the word right or left, because she can turn either direction, needs to be in all capitals because it is a parameter and it is a Java reserve word. or a Jeroo reserve word in this case. So we have to capitalize, oops, sorry, I thought I had my caps lock on. We have to capitalize the word, okay? We put our semicolon at the end, and then I'm going to make Sue hop one more time after, oh, I want y'all to see something. This time I'm going to put Sue in lowercase. It still says Sue, but now her name is lowercased, and we're going to see how that works. So we're going to step it. So it tells me automatically, syntax error, unknown identifier, Sue, check spelling and capitalization. So even though Sue lowercase and Sue uppercase are the same Sue, you have to make sure that you are keeping with the spelling of how you spelled it. If you start Jeroo, Sue equals new Jeroo with a lowercase s, then every place you have Sue needs to be with a lowercase s. If you say Jeroo, Sue equals new Jeroo, then you have, and you do a capital S, then you need to make sure that it always has a capital S. All right, so now we're going to run this again, and I'm going to use the run the program continuously. So we go, she hops 5, and then she goes. So now if we want to see her turn left, so we're going to say, oh, we're going to need to rewind the program. So now we're going to come in here and we're going to say Sue.turn. Remember that when we put in our hop or a turn, we have to make sure to put in the correct parameter. So if she's turning left, we have to make sure that left is in all caps. And we put in our semicolon, we run it. So there goes Sue, and then she turned left, and now it's complete.